How to do an oil change in a 2007 Honda Fit. What you'll need is one of them cool oil drain pan thingies, oil filter pliers, ratchet with a 17mm socket, the oil filter, the oil, the crush washers that go on the oil drain plug. Make friends with the parts guy at your local Honda dealership and he'll hook you up. And then always change the air filter around when you change the oil if you don't drive a shit ton of miles. So anyway, yeah, first you jack the car up. And then you crawl under the car and position the drain pan below. Have it pretty far back because this here is going to go bloop really far when I loosen this. Ooh, I might have to get an extendo on here because of my little wussy arms. Let's see. Yep, I'm gonna need a breaker bar. I will show you that. Oops, I meant cheater bar. Basically, I take this pipe and then I add it on here, and that gives you extra leverage. And a breaker bar is a whole separate bar. I'll have to use a different socket if I need the breaker bar. I gotta set this down, so hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to see because I just set the phone down, so you might just be hearing me. Okay. Was I eating a lot of fucking spinach when I did this last time? This is much tighter than it needed to be. Okay, I guess we do need a breaker bar. That means I have to get a whole different socket. Hang on. Okay, so when a cheater bar over the ratchet doesn't work, you go for a breaker bar, which is very long. And this is my 17mm socket that fits the 1/2-inch attachment for the bar, so let's get her on there. Okay, I got the breaker bar on, and then let me, oh, oop, that's popped loose. Okay, so then you slide it off, and then you move here, and then it's about to be I'm gonna have to switch hands because I'm gonna yank this out from the top here to avoid getting my hands. Fuck! This happens to me every time. So I'll have to dig that out and clean it. But, yep, you see how it goes out quite a bit. You don't want any of this on the ground. Now I'm gonna go clean my fingers. Then you do the oil filter counterclockwise is upwards from this angle. Empty it into the drain pan. And then now I gotta pull this all out soon and rescue my drain plug, but first we're gonna do the air filter. Okay, these air filters are actually pretty easy, except for, you know, as they get older, these 4 clips get a little tight, but they're more of a pain to get back on than to get off sometimes, and other times they're really easy. So now I'm gonna actually grab my new filter because I want this ready to go. I am a little bit of a dork, and because of the cattywampus way that these are set up, oh, this is kind of tough to do with one hand. I gotta remember, okay, so the diagonal upward facing is how you want it. So my recording cut off for some reason, so you pull the old one out, and yep, it was definitely time. It's why, because I don't drive many miles, I only need to change my oil once a year, and I try to do it every spring. Put that so it's facing the same way. get it back in the air intake, and that's actually the smoothest thing. I'm glad I remembered to see which way they were pointing. And then you wrestle these clips back on. I'm not gonna record it because doing that one-handed is a bit of a pain, so... Okay, and now I have rescued my drain plug from the pan. I'm going to scrub it up and then put on the crush washer. Now, as much as I had it a little too tight under there, part of my problem was also bad angle and me being out of shape. The crush washer did not have to be cut off with some tin snips. It came right off. Crush washer is your best friend with these, and too many people forget them, and then that's how you can destroy your oil pan, by over-tightening your drain plug. Now I will see you back under the car. Oh, you got so much more room without that pan in the way. So you put the oil plug back in, righty-tighty. Just a bit of oil on me. And then we are not going to tighten that thing with the breaker bar. I suspect that that's what I did last oil change and put me in the situation of needing a breaker bar to take it off. So I'm going to go find my ratchet. Don't be like me and have to get up and constantly get your tools. I did better than other times. Oh, I gotta switch this to Titan. There we go. And then, oh wait, that's... And then you just tighten it until the crush washer begins to crush. There we go. And now for the oil filter, which we roll back out under the car. And open her up. You know, for an aftermarket, this is definitely the closest looking to the OG Honda one. I hear that they're missing the stop valve, so that means that they can be a little messier to deal with, but it doesn't affect the engine performance at all. Now with this big jug, I'm not going to film myself doing this because I'm going to need two hands. What you want to do is pour a little oil inside of it to prime it. So I'm going to do that, but I'm not showing it because I will spill oil all over the place if I try to do this one-handed. Okay, she's got some oil in her. Now I'm going to... Got some oil on my fingertip, and you just rub a light, thin layer under the gasket, or over the gasket. You know what I mean. And then, back under the car we go. I'm holding this, don't want to spill it, so again, turning off while I do that. Okay, now we're back under the car, and then we slowly put the filter back on, line up the threads, and then go down, 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 because that is righty-tighty. And you want this hand tight, but not ridiculous. Put a little force on it with my little T-Rex arm, so I know that's not definitely over tight, but it is tight enough that it won't leak. Alright, and then last step is to put in the new oil. Alright, so check this out. Kent 3D printed this glorious thing for me so that it will make it a lot less likely to make a mess. I don't like how it's gritty, so... Hang on, where did I put my little cloth shop rag? Okay, I'm gonna go wipe this down. Be right back. Alright, I cleaned her up. So now we take the oil cap off. set it right here. Then, this nifty 3D printed thing. You can find this on Thingiverse. I believe it might be titled Honda Fit Oil Drain Cap, or might be just Honda Drain Cap, because Honda's pretty good about keeping a standard size for all their stuff. I feel like that didn't thread right. Yep. There, now it's threaded right. Okay, and then we got our oil. And, whoop, and then I just spilled some. Okay, I'm going to put the oil in, not recording, because I don't want to make a further mess. But basically, a Honda engine this size takes a little over 3.5 quarts. So you got to frequently check with the dipstick. So I will see you on the flip side with that. Alright, now we'll check her. Oh yeah, right below the dot. Perfect. Since this is an older engine, if I do have it a little over full, it'll burn off pretty quickly. I'm doing my tires and valve adjustment next. But, yep, final step is you remove your funnel and tighten your thing, and then that is how to change your oil on a 2007 Honda Fit when you just have a jack in your driveway and when you accidentally over-tightened the drain plug. Let me know if you want me to make more car videos. I mean, I'm sure that my dorkishness with all this was very amusing. Laters.